2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready. Welcome to Straight Talk TV, the show that cares about you. And here's our host, Tony Brown.
Thank you so much. And yes, this is Straight Talk TV, the show that cares about you. And we like to say where the information comes from the people to the people. And we have some information coming from a young lady that is so powerful, doing great things in the state of Oregon. She is Shaneka Owens. She was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. She has a bachelor's degree in civil engineer and a master's degree in transportation and infrastructure studies. But she also has a responsibility here in the state of Oregon. She is the operational manager of project engineers for the Federal Highway Administration. She's responsible for a lot of responsibilities for our highway transportation. She's in charge of the projects here in the Portland metropolitan area. Ladies and gentlemen, and let me add, she also enjoys mentoring to our young people. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Shaneka Owens.
Hello.
Hello, thank you, Miss Shaneka. Thank you for stopping in and sharing a little bit with Straight Talk TV. When the people hear the engineering, they're like, oh my goodness. Share a little bit about how the young lady from Baltimore, Maryland got involved with the engineering program.
All right, so it wasn't really a linear path that I took to get to engineering. As you mentioned, I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and when we were in school, our schools didn't really give us much information on college, and they didn't really promote college very much to us as students. But I was lucky enough to have really good friends in my circle, as well as a really good support system. And my very best friend, her mom was involved in the Baltimore City public school system, and she found out about a lot of programs that were happening in the city. And so my best friend would get involved in those programs that her mother would find out about, and then she would bring me along with her. So just by having the right access to the right people, that's how I kind of stumbled into engineering. I actually wanted to be an architect first.
Oh my goodness. Now, Ms. Shaneka, yes. Your best friend might be watching this show, so you're going to at least give a shout out to her name.
Yes, her name is Kazia Black. She's also like my very best friend. We've been friends since 6th grade, and she's an architect, a licensed architect.
Okay. And her mother was this supportive system for you too. Please speak to the support system and how important that is and what it meant to you.
I would say that it's fundamental to like having a healthy childhood, just having a healthy lifestyle in general. Growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of supportive people. My parents, especially, more specifically, like my mother, she's a huge inspiration. I think everything that I'm doing right now is based off the influence she provided, as well as mentors I've had along the way. And as I mentioned, my best friend, her mom, she was also an inspiration growing up. So just having this strong network of people around me, I feel like that was, I guess, instrumental in me being who I am today.
Okay, and now we're gonna go on a little journey with you. Okay, you was inspired, you was gonna be an architect. What led you into the engineer? Because usually that's quote unquote a dominant male field.
Right. So when I was in high school, I went to a vocational technical high school, and because I was into architecture, the trade that they had that was closest to what I had was architectural drafting. Okay. So when I was doing that during high school, I was able to do work study at Baltimore City Public Schools. So they hired me part-time while I was in high school to come and work in the engineer's office and trace plans and ink plans by hand. And I did that part-time until I graduated. And when I was deciding like what major I wanted to take in school, architecture wasn't really readily available. So one of my teachers advised me, he said, if I went into engineering, it was similar to architecture, except you made more money.
Right. Well, give him a shout out. You got to give him a shout out.
I have to be honest, I don't remember which teacher told me this, but I remembered it.
So you're starting this journey and you go through high school. What led you to Morgan State University? Kind of share that path with us, because we're going through it with your journey. We're going through your journey with you.
All right. So growing up, I watched a lot of TV.
Okay.
And I used to watch a lot of Black sitcoms growing up, like Family Matters and The Cosby Show. But my favorite show was A Different World.
It's a different world. Yeah.
That was like my favorite TV show growing up. And I cannot lie, like hands down, that is the reason why I decided to go to a historically Black college or university.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So now we're at the college. Kind of give us a kind of a walk through how that journey started in the school, the first class. We just want to travel a little bit with you back in time.
All right. So once I graduated from high school, it's a summer transition between high school and college. Morgan State offered a pre-engineering program where you stayed on campus throughout the summer, and they kind of gave you a head start on what to expect when you got to college. Yeah. And they let you stay in the dorms and everything. So being exposed to that program, I got an early start on what I could expect as an engineer. And I also, it gave me a chance to see what college life was like.
Okay.
So they gave you a lot of pre-classes so that you could be prepared for your first year. So they gave you a lot of pre-calculus. They went over the placement test, because the placement test determines what level of math you start off in your first year. So being in that summer program, it kind of set the stage for the rest of my career.
Okay, now we end. Okay, you have a bachelor's, so you had to get the associates and the bachelor's. Kind of share a little bit of what that was like to get the associate and then the bachelor's and then the master's.
All right, so I didn't get my associates. I went straight into getting my bachelor's straight out of high school.
Good
so
for
I went
you.
straight into a 4-year program.
Yes.
Yeah, so it took me 5 years total though. So I wasn't, because I worked and I stayed at home while in college. So it took me about 5 years to complete the entire program.
I know this was an amazing journey for you. That perseverance, what stuck out in my mind just then too. How did you maintain that? You know, because going to school at home and it's all the distractions, if you will, around you. How did you maintain that journey?
It required a lot of discipline, that's for sure. I was a person who I constantly needed things to do. And I was a kid who always wanted to have a job. Like I was that kid who signed up like immediately when summer jobs, as soon as I met the age threshold, I would sign up for summer jobs and like go work at summer camps for the summer. Okay. So I always liked to work because I liked having money. I liked being independent.
Absolutely.
So I kept a really like good schedule. I would make sure that I scheduled my school schedule around, my work schedule around my school schedule, because school was first. Yes. So I made sure I had certain days to give myself a break so that I wouldn't get overwhelmed. So I made sure on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, my schedule was pretty light so that I wouldn't get so overwhelmed by doing both.
Now, for a young person that's looking into getting into the engineering field, what advice would you give them as they're starting out? High school, they're in high school now, or should it start before high school, kind of?
If possible, start as early as middle school.
Okay.
Hopefully start getting exposed to more advanced math.
Okay.
The earlier start you can get on math, and the further ahead you can get in math, the better off you'll be in the long run. Like some of my friends were lucky enough to go to advanced middle schools, and that prepared them for high school, which also those schools prepared them for college. So I recommend getting calculus classes, trying to get it, or at least pre-calculus. Okay. Learn the fundamentals, like get really good with geometry and trigonometry. If you get those down, I think once you get to the more complex math classes, it'll get easier.
It's good, easy. So now we're in college. Okay, we got the bachelor's degree. Share a little bit. What was it like for you? Just like, oh my goodness, I got the bachelor. I'm walking across the stage. Just let's let's walk with you on that moment.
So
Yes.
that was like one of the best days of my life. I can't confirm if I'm the first, but I'm one of the first in my family to graduate from college. So
Yeah.
when it was a really big deal in Morgan State, back when I was in school, they did separate like your individual school graduation, and then they had the larger campus graduation. So it gave your parents an opportunity to see you up close and see you walk across the stage.
Oh,
So I feel like almost my whole entire family showed up to my graduation. Like
yeah.
I have this picture, and I wish I had it with me, but my
Yeah.
whole entire family is surrounding me in my camping gown. It was like one of the best experiences of my life. And when I walked across the stage, they all stood up and like yelled and screamed. It felt
Yes.
so good.
Yes. I can feel the excitement. What was the first thing that one of the family members said to you that you can remember? I know everybody was coming at you, loving on you. Yes.
I remember my cousin saying how proud he was of me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Now the energy and what that must have felt like for you. So now we have your master's.
Oh,
What was
that's
the
my
next?
bachelor's. My
The bachelor. I'm
bachelor's.
sorry. Okay. Now in your mind, you're gonna say, okay, I'm going for my master's. So how did that happen?
So I started working first.
Okay.
I wanted to get out of college. I needed a break from school. I just wanted to make money.
Right.
I was so tired of being a broke college student. So every year, also while I was in college, during the year, I would just have a regular part-time job. But every summer, I did internships. So my freshman year, I didn't really do anything over the summer. But my sophomore and junior year, I went and I interned for the state highway and the State Highway Administration in Maryland. And I did that for 2 summers in a row. And then for my third and final year, I was lucky enough to do an internship in Zama, Japan for
Oh
the
my
Army
goodness.
Corps of Engineers. So that was my first time out of the country. That was my first time on a plane. Like my family did not want me to go.
Right.
But all I could say was, I'll see you all in 3 months when I get back.
Because you're going on this trip.
I'm going on this trip. As terrified as I was determined I was going.
Absolutely. So when you return?
Yeah, so when I returned, that was my last year of school. And my mother, she allowed me to just like not work that whole last year just to get prepared for graduation. So because I did those internships, I was able to have a job offer 2 weeks before graduation with the Maryland State Highway Administration. So they hired me before I even had my degree, technically.
Oh my goodness, good for you. Now, you spoke about going abroad. What would you say to the young folks or somebody that's in that position and they're thinking about, should I go abroad? How did that mold you? Did that mold you at all? Did that affect you in any way?
That shaped my whole entire life from that point forward. When I went there, like I said, it was my first time on a plane, my first time away from home, my first time doing anything like this. I recommend that anyone who has that opportunity to take it. You start to meet people that are like you, that are very similar to you. So you realize that the world isn't as big as it seems.
Right.
And it also gives you exposure to other cultures, which I think is really important, especially at a young age. It really helped shape who I was. And I realized that the world wasn't as small as my original circle didn't need to be that small.
Right.
Like I love traveling the world now. Like I travel the world almost every year.
Oh my goodness.
Just because of that internship.
Yes. Yes. So you're back in the States and you're working on the master's now?
So I'm working for the State Highway Administration.
Okay,
So
okay.
I worked there from 2004 forward, and around 2007, after working there for 3 years, I qualified for their reimbursement program. So they paid for you to go get your master's degree. As long as you got a B or better, they would reimburse the cost.
Now,
So
just repeat that again, because I want that to go out to the viewers so they say, like, what? How did she do that?
Yes. So my working for the state of Maryland, they have a tuition reimbursement program, and so I was able to go to school while I was working, and they would work around my school schedule if there were conflicts and everything. And as long as you had a B or better in your classes, they would reimburse you.
Oh, good for you. Say, I got this now. That's all it takes. All right.
So that's advice number 2. Try to go to get your master's for free. There's somebody out there that will pay for your master's. So try to get it for free.
Okay, so you got the master's degree. Now, let's kind of go, what was the journey that led you here, or the process that led you to Portland, Oregon?
All right. So when I first started working for the State Highway Administration,
okay,
I said from my very first year that I wanted to work for the federal government. That's always been my dream. I don't know where it came from. Certain things, certain seeds just were planted along the way, and I guess that was one of them. I always wanted to work for the federal government. So I think every position that I held while I worked for the state, I was there for almost 13 years. I would continuously try to improve, try to grow as a person, try to expose myself to different types of jobs. That was my number one goal, was to be a well-rounded engineer. So I started off in like design, and then project management. And then I switched over to traffic engineering, and I became a supervisor, and I just started to move up really quickly. And once I got to a really high point, I kind of came to a crossroads. It was, I was in a point in my path where I didn't really like being in management, kind of got me away from what I went to school for, because I really love engineering. And at the management level, you don't get involved in it as much.
Okay.
So I had to take a long pause and think about what exactly I wanted to do. So at this point, I was like upper management. So I actually took a demotion to go be a special assistant back in my old office.
Okay.
And then that allowed me time to like build up my training and like try to get more exposure in the federal side. And lo and behold, a few months later, a position opened in the Federal Highway Administration in West Virginia.
Oh, and my goodness.
It just came out of nowhere. And as soon as I saw it, I knew that was my job.
That was the guy. So that step back was actually your comeback.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. So every path doesn't have to be up, consistently up. Sometimes you may have to go backwards to go forward.
Oh my God. And something that you touched me too, that I just want to put a pin right there, is that you talked about working on yourself, speak to that a little bit. What does that mean? Working on yourself?
I'm one of those people where like I firmly believe in if you don't evolve, you die in a way.
Okay.
It's like you have to constantly evolve. You have to constantly adapt. Like change is inevitable. So I'm one of those people who seek change. If you notice, like I've jumped jobs, I've changed the places where I've lived. Like I've constantly wanted change because I always want to learn and grow and try to expose myself to as much as possible so that I can learn and adapt really quick. That's all. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Because people probably, when I heard it, I said, oh, to change. A lot of times sometimes people are just afraid to evolve or change and come out their comfort zone, if you will, and bring some more energy in there, some more knowledge. So I'm glad you spoke to that a little bit to let people know it's about growing.
And it's uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. Get uncomfortable to get comfortable, I guess. Yes. So now are you still in Maryland now, or you have came to Portland, Oregon?
Not yet. So now I'm in West Virginia.
Okay, West Virginia. Okay.
That was like night and day also from where I grew up. Very small town, like very rural. There, it was definitely a learning experience. Again, this is like my first time moving away from home. I'm looking around and I don't see as many people that look like me as it was in Baltimore. I was actually spoiled. Like I was used to growing up around people who look like me all the time. Like that, we're the majority. African Americans are the majority in Baltimore. So it was different, like walking around the streets and not seeing many people who look like me. But again, I'm one of those people where I just jump right in. I start getting myself exposed to what's around me, and I built a community there too. Wow. So I stayed there for about 3 years. Okay. And something kept drawing me to the West Coast. Okay. And here, it's like, once you open your eyes and like pay attention to that path ahead, it starts to become really clear. So all of a sudden, a rotational opportunity opened up in the Vancouver office in Vancouver, Washington. And I was able to, I applied, and they actually weren't going to accept me because it was really expensive to bring somebody across the country to do a rotational assignment. So they actually wasn't going to select me, but because I had all of that different type of diverse experience, they wanted me to come out. So they brought me out for what was supposed to be a 3-month rotational assignment. I did such a great job that they extended it by 3 months. So I was here. I got a chance to try out Oregon for 6 months for free.
Your gift will make a way for you.
Yes.
So you're in Vancouver, Washington.
Yes.
And how did you end up in Portland with the position that you have now?
So I was, again, mentors. Mentors are so important. Having a strong network is really important. So when I first started with the federal government, I signed up for the mentoring program, our agency's mentoring program. And I was introduced to who is now my administrator. His name is Philip Ditzler, and he goes by Phil Ditzler. And he was my mentor, my agency mentor. And when I came out here on my temporary assignment, I got a chance to actually meet him in person for the first time. We only could meet virtually prior. So we met up, we talked, and come to find out he had a position that was opening in the Oregon division. At the same time, the office that I was on in Vancouver also had a job opening.
My goodness.
So I applied for both jobs, and I said, no matter what, whichever offers me a position first, I'm going to take it. And so the Oregon division offered me a position first, so I accepted.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're in Oregon. Share with us a little bit what your job details or consist of.
Yes, so I'm considered agency-wide, I'm considered an area engineer, but my official position in the Oregon division is operations engineer for Region 1. Region 1 is equivalent to Oregon Department of Transportation's Region 1. So that's the whole entire Portland metro region.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm responsible for federal oversight on all federal transportation projects in the Portland metro area.
Oh my God. Now, speaking of federal projects, does that fall to I-5 projects in Vancouver, Washington?
Yes. So our office is responsible for oversight on any projects that have federal transportation dollars. So so the I-5 Rose Quarter project, the I-205 toll project, the I-205 improvements project, the I-5 interstate.
My goodness.
And it's interstate bridge replacement project. That all of those projects are under our oversight responsibilities.
Can you touch on a little bit what those projects, is that okay? Just to touch on a little bit what each one of those projects is so people can kind of get a visual.
I could give a broad overview.
Sure, that's fine, yeah. Okay.
So the I-5 Bridge Interstate Replacement Project, that's the replace to the bridge between Washington and Oregon. The I-5 Rose Quarter project is an operational and safety improvement project in the Lloyd Rose Quarter area near the Coliseum. Then you have the I-205 tolling, and then the area-wide tolling projects that are being proposed by ODOT. Those are regional tolling projects. They're trying to see if it's feasible to implement tolling on the two interstate roadways. And then we have the I-205 improvements project, and that project is to address that bottleneck on I-205 where it's 4 lanes in each direction, and they want to expand that by 1 lane in each direction and make it 3 lanes each way, and replace the bridges in between that 7-mile stretch.
So it's dealing a lot with the infrastructure.
Yes.
Of course. Now, how many women or ladies, or whatever terminology people use today, because they got a lot of terminologies and I don't want to offend anyone, that is involved with the engineering at the level that you are, or even in that arena?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's never enough. It's not nearly enough.
Okay.
I do see a lot more women here in this area than I've seen other areas in other states that I've lived and worked in. But I'll say just in my office, well, thank goodness that's going to change in January, because we just hired another female engineer to work in our office. But
Okay.
I am, up until this point, I was the only Black woman and woman engineer in our office.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's a big clap for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because every day that's been touch on that a little bit. I can't speak for you, but what was that like?
It's kind of, I want to say it's a challenge, which I enjoy.
Okay.
But it's so frustrating sometimes to be the only. Like, okay. I'm tired of being the only woman in my office, or I'm tired of being the only woman or Black woman in a business meeting. Like, yes. I'm so tired of that. Like, I want it to be the norm to just look across the table and see another Black woman engineer who's also looking across from another Black woman engineer. Like, I really want to create that. Exactly.
Now, speaking of creating that, let's kind of fade into or go into or chime into the mentoring program, the nonprofit organization. Is that one of your motivationals to be involved with that? Share a little bit about those programs that you're involved with.
Yes. So, like I said, I'm tired of being the only, and I want to do my best to try to create more engineers, period. We need more engineers in general. So I want to inspire all kids to go into engineering, but I specifically want to focus on getting more Black boys and Black girls interested in the tech field in general. It doesn't even have to be civil engineering, just engineering in general. So I volunteer with a few programs. So the first is the Building Blocks to Success Lego Robotics program. Okay. So I volunteer for that program, where we teach programming, robotic programming to kids, as well as help them create a project that's going to impact the world. And it's a regional competition that leads to a national competition and then a world competition.
Oh my goodness. And that was one. You also volunteer for another program as well?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It's a nonprofit called the Black Community of Portland.
Okay.
And I help them with managing their Portland Clean Energy Fund grants. Since I do project management for a living, I try to volunteer my services to different nonprofits if they're missing a particular expertise. So I'm also helping them with trying to get to acquire land so that they can build clean buildings and have a center, like a headquarters, and a section for agriculture, as well as rental properties, specifically to help the Black community.
Yeah. Now, you spoke of clean air, agriculture. Speak to how important those two aspects are, clean air and agriculture.
Clean air, clean agriculture,
yes.
Just clean living. Mm-hmm. It has an impact on your entire health, like your overall health, your mental health, your spiritual health, like everything is tied into growing up in a clean environment.
And you spoke about the robotics. Share a little bit about that program, so the viewing audience, they have children, they can kind of understand a little bit about that, and even how to get involved.
Yes. So I learned about the program when I moved to Oregon. There's a program called the welcoming type of program for anyone of color who moves to the Oregon area.
Okay.
Or the Portland metro area. And this program basically is like a kind of an open house, and it welcomes you to the community, and they provide you all these different resources. And it's almost like a networking event as well.
Beautiful.
So Antonio Jackson was there, and I heard about his program. So I sought him out, and I hunted him down, and I said, I love what you're doing. I heard about your program. I want to help. please let me know whatever I need to do to help. So he took my information, and we kind of lost touch for a while, but then I saw him at another event, and I said, okay, this is meant to be. I have to be involved in your program. So what do I need to do to volunteer, because I'm there? And so luckily enough, we met up, and it was just in time for the next cycle of the program to start. So I've been volunteering with his organization for the last 3 years, virtually and in person.
Good for you. Good for you. That 2s and 3s seems to be a number with you.
It is. It really is. On average, I change jobs about every 3 years too.
Share a little bit with our viewing audience, the ones that have children. What do they do in this program with this logo? Is it called logo?
Lego robotics.
Lego, yeah, robotics. Yes.
So you start we break you up into different teams based on different reasons, but we try to put kids at the same level in the same group. And what we do is we teach the kids, and they learn how to program robots, Lego robots. You program them to do certain obstacles on a course. And you also work on a project together that's going to improve the environment. It depends on what the theme is every year. Like this year, the theme is Cargo Connect. So it's the kids have to come up with a project that will somehow improve cargo and freight and some in that industry. Like the competition is they have to introduce something that could improve a process or make things run faster or improve on a system in some way. And then they present that to judges. And then if you win, you move on to the next level and on and on.
Oh my God, I hope they come up with something real quick, because we got a lot of cargo sitting at the docks right now.
I think that's part of the reason they suggested that theme, for that very reason.
The people working on. And I just appreciate you sharing a little bit, because it's a viewing artist and they're looking so they can see that this type of program exists to teach our young people, leaders in training, about the field itself. And they can go there and it sound like it's a good atmosphere. It's safe environment.
Very safe, very fun. We meet every week at the University of Portland.
Okay.
So it also gives the kids exposure to a college campus, because we're working weekly at that campus. And hopefully when they're there, they'll feel like they have a place there, and then they know that they'll want to go off to college.
My goodness, you have been quite the journey. And it's just been an inspiration for me, and a joy and a pleasure, as well as an honor just to tap in just a little bit of your journey. And we look forward to just whatever Straight Talk can do. Just let us know, and we can be a part of whatever we need to do to get the message out and be a part of it. And maybe even showcase some of the young people doing what they're doing, so people can actually see what our young people are doing and the work that you and Antonio Jackson and yourself and other staff members are reaching back and touching the lives of our young people. That is such awesome. That is so awesome.
I would be happy to. Any way that I can bring more exposure to his program, I think it's an excellent program for children. And I feel like every kid in the area who's somewhat interested should get involved, even if it's just to learn from other kids who are like them.
Now, as we close down for right now, because you're busy, and we appreciate you stopping in and sharing, like I said, a little bit of your journey. Some parting words for our viewing audience and our young people that are watching the show. Just some parting words for them.
I would say, try to learn from people who have been there before. Okay. Try to find mentors and people that inspire you. I think it's good to surround yourself by people who you would like to be like, so that you're influenced to do greater things.
Oh, well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard from Miss Shaneka Owens, and she's doing great things here in the Portland area. And it's just a blessing to have her here. Please take care of yourself. Thank you. And Straight Talk is there for you if you need us. Again, thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thanks for having me.
We are bringing a powerful duo to you today, people. Let me share a little bit about the gentleman's name is Lou, and his co-partner is called Horace. So let me share a little bit about the journey of Lou. His first cast of success was in 1971, a CBS talent show, where he became the third finalist in that show. Then he was part of the comedian duo, The Endangered Species. But he also performed at not the Cotton Club, but the Comedy Club, where he was approached by Simon Max Hill of S&MH casting. Out of that, he was able to do 15 extra appearances on a TV series. Now listen to these TV series: Portlander, Grimes, Leverage, and The Librarian. And he also worked with the GNC production. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lou and Horace. How you guys doing? Welcome, guys.
Bless Tony. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. How y'all? Good talk, Tony. Damn. Hey, dude. What's up, man? What's up, Tony?
Hey, it's all good. Let me say thank you for stopping in. I know you guys are so busy, and we appreciate the fact that you guys stopped in and shared a little bit about what you guys are doing and some of the programs you're involved in, and just sharing the laughter that you bring into people's hearts. Okay, Lou, share a little bit about what was that like getting cast on Portlander and Grimes and Leverage and The Librarian. What was that like for you?
That was quite an experience. Man, that was a lot of fun. You really get an insight as to what television production is all about. I met a lot of really nice people, and it was just a great learning experience,
Wow.
And I tell you one thing about it, the food is absolutely phenomenal. Boy, do they feed you well. They don't pay you a lot, but they feed you really, really well. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Let's share a little bit about how Horace became part of this duo that you guys are just sweeping the nation with.
Wow. Well, I purchased this guy. I think it was in 2008. And I sat him on the shelf for about a year. And, I got to thinking, hey, this guy costs a lot of money.
Right.
I better start utilizing his talents.
Right.
Yes. So, I just started practicing. And I used to practice talking without moving my mouth when I was really young. And then I saw Jeff Dunham, who was a premier ventriloquist, and Terry Fader, who was another great ventriloquist. And then I saw Willie Brown on a cruise ship, who has been doing ventriloquist. He's a friend of mine since he was 15. And we became friends, and I thought, this is what I want to do for a living, so that's how it all came about.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an amazing journey. Horace, what is it like working with Lou?
Working with this guy, well, it's okay that he ain't too good about paying me.
Uh-oh, he's not paying you, Lou?
No, ain't paying me in 5 years. You hear what I say? 5 years.
Well, it sounds like you're a dedicated person, a partner to work with.
Yeah, I am.
So, Horace, what are you doing later? From my understanding, you're involved with XI Worldwide Academy. Share a little bit about what that academy is about.
Oh, yes, that's a great platform. It is a company that addresses 5 aspects of your life: social, physical, mental, spiritual, and, well, anyway, it's 5. That anything you need, they can help you with to improve your life. Wow. It's a wonderful organization headed by Dr. T.Z. Wilson.
Wow. Now, if you could just share a little bit about what's offered in each one of those departments. You said you have a financial department. What are just a few classes? I know you can't touch on all of them, but what are a few of those classes that are offered in the financial department?
Well, in the financial department, You got Bill talks about how to purchase a home. And then there's also classes that teach you how to trade currency on the Forex market. Great stuff, great teachers.
Now,
this is great, just great stuff. They show you how to build your credit and how to utilize your credit if you once it becomes good. Wow. And they also have a blockchain class. If you want to trade currency or cryptocurrency, they can teach you how to do that.
You mentioned social department. What's a few of the classes that's involved with the social department? What is that about?
Well, the social department, yeah, they got all kinds of things that help you socially. The one I work with is the kids department. In fact, I co-host a show Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time. And we talk to the kids. They can talk directly to me. And it's great. It's called XIXI Kids and LIT Squad.
Wow.
LIT stands for Leaders in Training. You know, Tony, that's what these young people are. They're our future leaders, and we gotta train them.
Absolutely. Now, on Wednesday, you also have the fitness department called Whip 'em in Shape. Can you share about a few of the classes? Because you'll have so many classes. I'll just touch on a few classes that are offered through that fitness Whip 'em in Shape department.
Yes, we got one class that teaches you all kinds of exercises to make your body healthy. And also we have classes that teach you what to eat, the right things to eat and what not to eat. Wow. Yeah. And you know what, Tony? You get all these classes.
And also you have essential oil class. You have a class I was reading about juicing, teach people how to juice as well. And I also read, Horace, if a person can't move around and they have to sit in their chair, you have a class for them too. Yoga.
That's right.
Wow, this is phenomenal.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. Now on Thursdays, you have a department in this academy that's called Mind Power Department. Share a little bit about what goes on in the Mind Power Department.
Yes, that's a great class. It teaches you how to think right. If you are doing something, you're trying to achieve something, and it ain't working out, you need to change your thinking.
Wow.
Yes. Great class.
Great class, powerful. Now, Fridays, the whole academy takes off. And they be with families and friends. And then on Saturdays, now we get into the department that you talked about, the Kids LIT program. Share a little bit about what that program is about.
Oh, yeah, Tony. I love that program. Yeah, the kids come on and they can talk to me and we teach them things that they might not be learning at home and certainly not at school. You know, kids need these, that solid foundation, and a lot of them don't get it at home, and they sure ain't gonna get it in the streets. So LIT stands for Leaders in Training. Yeah, I love working with the kids and they like me.
Now, there's a class that you have, it's called Speaking in Front of the Cameras, where you share a little bit about,
Yes, that's a great class. You can do an on-camera interview. So it teaches them how to what to do in front of the camera. They have a lot of fun doing it.
And build a confidence probably too, huh? Self-esteem.
Oh, yeah. Build their confidence. Yeah.
That's going to be like watching cartoons on Saturdays for the children, huh? Just sharing with you.
Oh, yeah. They love it. I love it too. It's so much fun. And I bet these kids are great.
I bet the parents really like it too, because I give them a whole hour where they can just relax and their children just having fun with you, huh?
Yeah, Tony. Yeah. It's great, man. I look forward to it every Saturday. Wow. It makes my whole week.
Now we have a clip, Horace, of you working with one of the children.
You do?
In front of the camera. Okay, we're going to roll that clip and then we're going to come back, ladies and gentlemen, with Horace and Lou.
Horace, yeah. Come over here for a minute. Yeah, all right.
Hey, another buddy.
Who is that? Who's that call my name?
Me.
Me who?
Tiana.
Oh, okay. Hi, Tiana. Oh, man, that's a nice puppy. Did you draw that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Can you make him talk? What's his name?
Tiana. I'm a girl.
Okay, I got it. But what's your name?
Katana.
Okay. Katana, would you make Tiana talk? Can you make him talk?
Hi. Let's have a conversation.
Oh, wow. That's good. Wow. Man, she's good. She's good.
Hi.
So how are you today?
How are you today, everyone? Good evening.
Wow. Wow. She's good. I am so good, sweetie. Thank you for asking.
Horace?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hi, my name is Batty the Bat, and I got some wings, and I fall like Katana.
Wow, man, you are so cute and you are so talented. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm so impressed. Wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetie. You're so welcome. Wow.
And I need some to say extra kids, come and join us. Bye, Horace.
Bye-bye,
I love
sweetie.
you, Horace.
Bye, Horace.
I love you too, honey.
But that's awesome. What was that like working with Tiana? Katana?
Oh, yeah, Katana. Yeah, that's my girl.
You like,
yeah. She's
said,
so smart. She's so smart.
She said at the end, she said, Horace, I love you. So she really enjoys being on the camera with you.
Yeah, that was quite an experience. I love the kids, Tony. I love working with these kids. They're so smart. They're so smart, and they're such a lot of fun to do things with.
Wow, that came across, and I just want to say to everybody that's viewing this, you have an opportunity for your children to get on the Zoom calls, like turning the TV on, and they can sit and have fun with Horace. They can do some interviews, build their confidence up, self-esteem, and Horace would just talk to them about whatever's going on in their mind. Now, Horace and Lou, share a little bit about what time can people get involved with watching you guys on Zoom? What day and what time?
Well, they can come on Zoom on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. That's right. And I'll give them the ID number, Horace. Yes, the ID number is 854-020, excuse me, 854-020-1850. And the passcode is success, SUCCESS, in all capital letters.
All right. And what time? Okay.
10 a.m. Pacific time.
Now, this is worldwide, so I'm going to do my best to break this down. Pacific time is at 10 o'clock, right?
Yep, that's right.
So that mountain time would be 11 o'clock.
Yes, yes.
The central time would be 12 o'clock.
Yep.
And then the East Coast time would be 1 o'clock.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
hey, you pretty smart.
I do my best, but it's Worldwide Academy, so we got to hit all the time zone. And it's also in Japan. It's also in Hawaii, because you have members of this academy in those different locations. So it's worldwide. Hey, guys, It's been awesome. We know you guys' schedule is busy. Now, if people want to personally get involved with you, just in case they missed the Zoom, we're going to put that up there so people can get the Zoom clip and the success, the links. But if they want to just call, say they missed the Zoom information, they want to call, because you guys do events. If they want to call and get more information, who do they contact? Horace or Lou?
They can contact Lou, and his email is louajr@gmail.com. And his phone number is 503-415-9413.
Wow. Go ahead and shout that out again, just in case, so people can get it.
Yeah. 503-415-9413.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Lou and Horace. Give them a call. Support what they're doing. They're working with our young people. And like they said, their program is called Kids LIT, Leaders in Training. And what better way to support? And parents, you get a whole hour just to relax while they share with Horace. Hey, guys, we appreciate you guys. We know your schedule is busy. Appreciate you for stopping on Straight Talk. Let us know whatever we can do. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Straight Talk TV. It is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people.
Yes.
Take care, everybody. Thanks, Lou.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony. Yes. Hey, we're available. Give us a call. Bye-bye.